everybody. This is Angela, and you're listening to 5 Picks and a Chick featuring El Gato. This is the podcast that gives you 5 NFL picks for people who love football and friendly wagering. How's it going, El Gato?
It's going good. In fact, we're here week 1 of the college real season. Last week it started a little bit, but this is a full week, a full boat. We're going to have games today, tomorrow, and then throughout the holiday weekend. So it's a full boat, and the next week, of course, it gets real with the NFL. So it crept up on us quick. It seemed like it took a long time to get here. Then mid-August came, and look at us now.
I know, it is here. I am so excited. Well, last week was a slow start. We did not do too well. We were 1-4, but it was our first podcast, and we're kind of just getting back into the rhythm of things. I can say college is not my thing, but so that's why this week it's going to be 4 picks and a chick featuring El Gato. And we have that includes a pick from our silent guest picker who will remain unnamed. But this week my pick is going to be Florida versus Utah. That game is tonight at 7, so I hope I can get everything uploaded. This is the NFL teams rest week, so there's not going to be any NFL teams playing. It's all going to be college. So I'll go with Florida versus Utah. I believe Utah will cover 4.5. Utah is at home, and although their quarterback is out, I believe their defense will keep them in this game and limit Florida's scoring ability. The analytics do have Utah winning this game by a high margins. I'm going with Utah. I really think that they want revenge from last year's opener. So Utah minus 4.5. What are your thoughts on this pick?
Yeah, Angela, I want to go with you on this one with Utah, even though Cam Rising is out. Florida is also contending with a new quarterback themselves. It's a transfer quarterback from Wisconsin. So I'm thinking maybe the backup for Utah and the new starter for Florida, may cancel each other out. So then I'll go to your point of the defense. Of course, we know the Florida always has some good athletes on the defensive side of the ball. Big defensive linemen, fast defensive backs. But they're going to be in Utah. That's a very rowdy crowd, very tough place for an opposing team to win. This spread started out at minus 9.5 earlier, of course, with Cam Rising out. Now it's come down to 4.5. I'm going to go with the home team on this one. I'm tending to buy down that 4.5 because I'm thinking it's going to be a close game.
Yeah.
I don't want that hook to cause me a loss. So I'm going to buy down to 4. Maybe, so if it's a, 24-20 game, something like that, 30-27, I won't get hit with that half point. So I'll go with Utah. I'll spend a little bit to buy that half point down, but I'm with you on this one. I'll go with Utah.
All right. So our next pick is from our silent guest picker. It's North Carolina versus South Carolina. Our guest picker is picking the under 64.5. I am going to go with the under. I'm going to go with the guest picker on this one. I wonder if the shooting at UNC will have an effect on the gameplay. So I just think that's too many points. I'm going with the under. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the under on this one. 64.5 is quite a bit. Considering the two teams playing, I know the Tar Heels of North Carolina have Craig May, Heisman hopeful, and of course you have Spencer Rattler at South Carolina. Seems like he's been a college quarterback for a decade. It seems like
he's been all over.
I know he's gone to like 3 teams, I believe. Anyway, I think it's going to be run heavy. Perhaps both teams are going to feel each other out. It's all going to come down to the O-line and D-line of each team, before the quarterbacks can maybe open it up. So I think that run-heavy start will get some clock off and time off the clock, I should say, and keep it at that under. I'm expecting maybe upper 20s with each team, close game, 27-24, 30-20, something like that. 64 is kind of high, so I'm gonna stick with the under on this one.
All right. Do you have a third and fourth pick for us?
I do. I have a couple of picks. I have Michigan versus East Carolina. It's one of those games where East Carolina. A lot of these games are opening games where the team, the opposing team, going into a big conference team. They're of course payday, right?
Yep.
And Michigan returns. I don't know about 12 starters, I believe. They have two key starters on offense returning, which is their starting quarterback, who's beaten Ohio State last couple of years. They've got that dynamic running back, Blake Corum. So, Michigan, I mean, they average a bunch of points. They may cover, they may cover this themselves. I'm saying the over. I'm going to the over at 51.5. If they get 45 and East Carolina can get, 10 points, there it is. But I'm thinking Michigan hopefully can cover it, can go the over by themselves. I'll go over on 51.5.
Yeah, Harbaugh's suspended for this game, as well as the offensive coordinator Moore. But I don't think that's going to really have an effect on this game and Michigan. Like you said, there's many returning players for Michigan. I think Michigan's still going to play well, and I think this game will go over 51.5.
Yeah.
All right. What's your fourth pick?
Fourth pick is UTSA versus Houston. UTSA brings in 16 total starters from last year's good squad. Yeah, UTSA brings back their very good quarterback, Frank Harris, from last year's squad. And last year's squad was very good. And, of course, with other starters returning on defense, they're dynamic on offense. Last year, UTSA and their opponents combined for an average of 62 points a game. And on the Houston side, their team and their opponent's team throughout the season averaged 68 a game. So I'm expecting a very high scoring game. Houston always they're lost their starting quarterback, but that Houston offense is kind of just brings in another quarterback, and it's the kind of plug and play. They're ready to go. So I'm expecting a pretty high scoring game on this one, upper 30s, maybe mid 30s for each team. I think they should easily go over the 60. So I'm going over 60 on this one.
All right. Well, I'm going to go against you on this one. I'm going to go with the under. I just think 60 is a lot of points. I think both teams are going to come out a little sluggish. The Houston quarterback is Donovan Smith, and I believe he's making his debut with the Cougars. So I think it's going to take a little bit of time for him to adjust. So I think they might struggle in scoring. I'm going to go with the under in this game.
All right. We'll see how it turns out. It's going to be a good night of football, and of course, this weekend is going to be wall to wall.
Yep, football starts tonight, college, today, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That's great, isn't it? And then before
Tuesday.
You know it, yeah.
Is there a game Tuesday and Wednesday? Keep it rolling.
Just keep on going. And then before you know it, Thursday's here. Our NFL kickoff at 6 days away, and the Chiefs are hosting the Lions.
Is that our first game on Thursday night?
Yes, sir. That will be that NFL kickoff game.
Well, we'll be ready to give our subscribers and listeners a good pick for that night, for sure.
For sure. Next week, we're going to have Big Zay with us as our guest picker. And so that'll be good to have him on with us. Do you have any final comments, Elgato?
No, just I'm glad we finally got this season started. Of course, it's a college week, but next week we're gonna dive full into the NFL, and that's where our expertise lie. I hope is in the NFL picks.
Yeah, I hope we shine a little bit better with our NFL picks.
There you go.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to 5 Picks and a Chick. Be sure to tell your friends about us. Also, hit the subscribe and like button on our YouTube channel. You can also find us on Spotify and Apple Podcast, or ask Alexa to play 5 Picks and a Chick. As always, thank you to Elgato for being part of 5 Picks and a Chick. 1, 2, 3, break.